Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
My name is Muhammad Satria Indra Pratama.
My name is Muhammad Zaki.
Everyone, welcome to our podcast. We hope you're all doing well.
In today's discussion, we are going to talk about two important issues that are closely related to our daily lives as university student and member of society.
Our first topic is the impact of a smoke-free campus policy. We'll discuss whether universities should completely ban smoking, how smoking affects student academic performance, and its impact on the campus environment.
Our second topic in the impact of rising fuel prices. We'll explore how higher fuel prices affect transportation costs, inflation, student processing, power, and the economy as a whole.
We'll share different perspectives, support our discussion with research finding, and discuss possible solution to these issues.
So, without further, let's get started with our first topic. Satria, I think a complete smoking ban on campus is too strict. As long as the university provides designated smoking area far away from classroom, I don't see any problem with it. After all, smoking is personal choice, isn't it?
I don't really agree with you, Zaki. Research has shown that smoking doesn't only affect smokers themselves, but also the people and environment around them. A review conducted by medical students at the University of Indonesia found that cigarette butts can contaminate soil and release harmful chemicals into water bodies. If smoking is still allowed on campus, even in certain areas, our campus environment will still be affected.
But if the university provides designated smoking areas, the cigarette waste can be managed properly. I'm not saying people should be allowed to smoke anywhere on campus. I'm just saying there should be a specific place where smoker can smoke without disturbing others.
The problem is not only about cigarette waste. Zaki, another study found a direct relationship between smoking habits and student academic performance. Smoking can reduce concentration and negatively affect learning motivation, which might lead to lower academic achievement. So, even if designated smoking areas exist, smoking still has negative consequences for the smokers themselves.
Well, I guess someone academic performance is their own responsibility. But I have to admit I'm beginning to understand your point of view.
There's more than just academic performance. And other study found that nicotine and other harmful chemicals in cigarettes can reduce physical stamina and indirectly decrease student motivation to study, especially when they are already dealing with academic pressure. On top of that, students nearby may inhale secondhand smoke, making them passive smokers.
You're right. If other students are exposed to secondhand smoke, then it becomes everyone's concern, not just the smoker personal issue.
Exactly, that's why many universities have implemented smoke-free campus policies instead of allowing smoking only outside classroom. Health research show that exposure to cigarette smoke still poses health risks, even in outdoor areas located close to learning activities.
So, in your opinion, a total smoking ban is a better solution than simply providing decided smoking areas?
Yes, but I also believe that education should accompany the ban. Research show that one of the main reasons people continue smoking is a lack of knowledge about its harmful effect. If university only enforce the rules without educating students, smokers might simply continue smoking secretly on campus.
That makes sense. So we can conclude that the smoking ban on campus is not just about enforcing regulation. It's also about protecting the environment from cigarette waste.
Exactly, Zaki. The best solution is to combine strict smoke-free policies with continuous education so that the academic environment remains healthy, safe, and comfortable for everyone, not only for non-smokers. Zaki, did you hear that fuel price went up again yesterday? How does that end up making the price of other goods increase as well?
Yeah, I heard about it. And I was surprised too, as far as I know. Fuel is one of the main components of distribution costs. This is known as cost push inflation, where higher production and transportation costs force.
So when fuel price go up, transportation costs increase as well, and that eventually leads to inflation across the economy.
Exactly. Once fuel price increase, the operating costs for both freight and public transportation rise automatically. Those additional costs are then passed on the consumers through higher price for goods and service. Research on purchasing power in Indonesia also found that rising transportation and energy costs reduce people purchasing power, especially among low-income households, causing them to cut back or spending. This is from Sitanggang Al 2025. This also slowed down national economic growth because household consumption is the largest component of the country's gross domestic production.
Wow, that means we as university students living away from home are definitely affected too, right?
Absolutely. A study involving university students found that 84% of them reduced their spending because inflation, and many also experience increased anxiety, especially those who live away from their hometown. This is from Sianpan 2025. In addition, 64% of the students believe that the government police were not effective enough in controlling inflation, including the issues of rising food prices.
In your opinion, what could be done to reduce the impact of higher fuel price on transportation costs for the public?
One effective solution is to strengthen public transportation. Research show that the transportation sector plays a crucial role in economic growth, but improving mobility and making the distribution of goods more efficient. This is from Ayunia and Novicel and Adiana from 2021. If public transportation receive adequate government subsidy, the increase in living costs caused by higher fuel price can be reduced.
Alright, so to sum it up, higher fuel price led to higher transportation costs, which contribute to inflation. Inflation then reduces the purchasing power of both the general public and university students. Therefore, strengthening public transportation and providing well-targeted subsidies could have minimized this impact.
Exactly, Sat. I think that's a solid framework for our paper.
Well, that brings us to the end of our podcast today. Thank you so much for listening.
We hope this discussion gives you a broader perspective on these important issues. Have a great day, everyone.
Until next time, stay healthy, stay critical, and goodbye!